Yellowstone is glamorous to watch. A major ranch with lands reaching to the mountains, a large group of ranchers big enough to form their own community, a leading family named Duttons, all of whom are strong enough to tackle any obstacle in the world, and perhaps the most silent factor of the entire show, the very much obvious wealth of the Yellowstone that enables the Duttons to preserve their eye-catching lifestyle. Now let's be honest, Duttons are not your typical rich family. From their lifestyle, we can get that they are pretty wealthy. They are not too much on the nose though. In fact, they are far from any posh attitude that the old money folks usually have. They are arrogant, that's for sure, but their arrogance doesn't come from their money. Instead, it comes from the pride of having a family legacy, which makes all the difference. Still, the fact that they all have everything they want in the world, the fact that their food is prepared by a personal chef, the fact that they have dozens of workers, and the fact that they have no concerns over money whatsoever signal that they are a rich family with considerable wealth. That being said, even though we didn't witness them individually struggling through making ends meet, we witnessed the family having troubles with the ranch's finances in Season 5, Part 1 of the show. We watched John Dutton trying to figure out how to make the ranch survive through a really difficult time financially. When half of the cattle got a disease, the situation got even worse. It seemed like the ranch wasn't keeping up with the change of times and thus was failing to make profits enough to make business going. Beth, as the financial brain of the family, started to look for alternative solutions. She came across 4/6's ranch's website and saw that they were selling meat online. When she showed it to John, he expressed that they would have trouble in the supply chain as the costs would be too high. Beth seemed determined to make this work though, and yet we didn't get the chance to see what kind of a solution she will come up with yet. We know that John is determined to stick to the traditional ways of gaining income rather than looking for modern alternatives. For instance, he refused to organize wedding ceremonies on the ranch multiple times as he is not fond of such touristic ventures in a traditional ranch like his. Even Jamie expressed to Beth that their father will be the end of Yellowstone Ranch as he foresees the future of Yellowstone under John Dutton's leadership. In the end, we are left with the question, how much does Yellowstone Ranch make? As Yellowstone Dutton Ranch is a fictional entity, it's not possible to provide an accurate estimate of its income. Based on what we see on the show, we can say that the ranch's main sources of income are cattle farming and land development. It's depicted as a massive operation with a large staff and a significant budget for expenses, such as equipment, maintenance, and advertising. Nevertheless, it's difficult to give an exact number for how much a ranch the size of Yellowstone would make as there are many factors that can influence revenue, such as location, production capacity, market prices, and operational expenses. According to a 2017 report by the USDA's Economic Research Service, though, we know that the average net cash income per farm and ranch in the United States is around $43,000. Considering the vast size of Yellowstone Ranch and its numerous operations, it's likely that its revenue would be significantly higher than the average ranch. An instance of such is the Wagoner Ranch in Texas, which was last purchased in 2015 for approximately $725 million. It's estimated that the Dutton Ranch is comparable in size and worth, so we can estimate the Yellowstone Ranch to be worth about $700 million as well. That being said, it's also clear that Yellowstone isn't what it was once. It failed to keep up with modern times and witnessed a similar fate to a lot of other ranches by losing lots of money. There are a few reasons why ranches may not be as profitable as they once were. One reason is that there has been a decline in demand for beef products in recent years, which can impact the price ranchers receive for their cattle. Additionally, the costs associated with running a ranch have increased over time, including expenses related to equipment, labor, and feed. Climate change and weather patterns can also impact the success of a ranch, as droughts or floods can impact crops and cattle. Finally, some ranchers may face challenges with land development as urbanization or industrialization can encroach on their property and impact their ability to operate their business. In our opinion, Yellowstone Ranch is suffering from all these factors. There are several ways to make a ranch more profitable in modern times, though. In other words, not all is done for Yellowstone. There is still hope to make it survive. One approach is to diversify the operations of the ranch by exploring other potential revenue streams. For example, the ranch could offer ecotourism activities such as hiking, bird watching, and wildlife viewing. Another approach is to focus on sustainable ranching practices that can reduce costs and improve the bottom line. This could involve implementing regenerative agriculture techniques such as rotational grazing and cover cropping, which can improve soil health and reduce the need for costly inputs like fertilizers and pesticides. Additionally, the ranch could consider partnering with other businesses in the local community to create value-added products or services, such as farm-to-table dining experiences that can attract more customers and generate additional revenue. Of course, in order for any of this to happen, John needs to relax his boundaries a bit and realize that every novel thing does not have to be a bad thing necessarily. Yes, traditions are good, but there is nothing normal than having a change in accordance with the zeitgeist. Do you think John Dutton will be the ending of Yellowstone Ranch? Do you consider the Duttons as a wealthy family? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.